With Kevin Durant ditching the Oklahoma City Thunder for the Golden State Warriors, it was a painful reminder to sports fans that no matter how much an athlete does for your team, there's always the chance he'll stab you in the back. It's even worse when they sign with an arch rival, but nobody is untouchable, especially athletes. I'm Andy Ruther, and Kevin Durant's decision has inspired me to bring you 15 sports stars who backstabbed their teams. At number 15 is MARIAN, HOSSA. A perennial superstar with the Ottawa Senators and Atlanta Thrashers, HOSSA was traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2008. His efforts helped them reach the Stanley Cup Finals against the Detroit Red Wings, where they lost in a close 6-game series. So what was HOSSA's solution? Well, he signed a one-year deal with Detroit, the team that beat him in the finals. But karma always wins. The following year, the Penguins beat the Wings for the Cup, and HOSSA was a loser on both ends. At number 14 is KARL Malone. The man who was known as the Mailman played with the Utah Jazz from 1985 to 2003, where he was a dominant star. He was a 2-time MVP, 14-time All-Star, and averaged 25 points a game in his career. However, the one thing he couldn't win with the Jazz was an NBA championship. So he joined their rivals, the Los Angeles Lakers, for the 2003-2004 NBA season. The Lakers would go on to lose to the Detroit Pistons in 5 games in the NBA Finals. So Malone's betrayal wasn't even worth it. At number 13 is Wes Welker. Now, Welker revolutionized the slot receiver position and was a key part in the New England Patriots offense for 6 years. In fact, he was a huge reason that they went 18-1 in 2007 and helped lead them to 2 AFC championship victories. However, after friction with head coach Bill Belichick in the spring of 2013, he joined their arch rival, the Denver Broncos. And at the time, Denver had Peyton Manning, a longtime rival of the Patriots organization. But the move was to no avail, as the Broncos were blasted in the Super Bowl by the Seattle Seahawks. At number 12 is Johnny Damon. Damon played 4 years with the Boston Red Sox, helping them win a World Series in 2004. And he was a huge role in helping them take down the New York Yankees in the ALCS. Remember that? Boston became the first team ever to erase a 3-0 deficit in a playoff series. But as always, the money began to talk. In the offseason, Damon signed a 4-year, $52 million contract with the Red Sox arch-rival New York Yankees. Damon went on to help them win the 2009 World Series. However, his return to Fenway was not appreciated. He was met with boos and garbage and money being thrown onto the field. Number 11, another former Boston guy, Adam Vinatieri. It's a shame that he was met with boos when he actually returned to New England, because Vinatieri kicked 2 last-second game-winning field goals in 2 Super Bowls for the Pats. Come on, guys, show him some love. Vinatieri was a huge part of the first 3 Super Bowls, and who can forget his amazing blizzard kick in the tuck rule game against the Raiders, right? When he signed with arch-rival Indianapolis Colts, Pats fans were definitely bitter. Yes, he was a traitor, but he did so much for your team. He's one of the traitors that actually deserves some respect. Come on, guys, show him some respect up in Beantown. At number 10 is Chris Chelios. Chelios was one of the most dominant NHL defensemen during the 1990s. In 9 years with the Chicago Blackhawks, he won 2 Norris trophies as the league's top blue liner and reached 7 All-Star games. However, as the team started to unravel, he went to their longtime rival, the Detroit Red Wings. And of course, he helped them win 2 Stanley Cups in 2002 and 2008. At number 9 is Wade Boggs. Now, Boggs played 11 years with the Boston Red Sox, reaching 8 All-Star games. The 5-time AL batting champion and Hall of Famer decided he had enough of Beantown, and he stabbed them in the back by joining the arch-rival New York Yankees. And Boggs helped the Yankees win the 1996 World Series, which would pave the way for a dynasty where they'd add rings in 98, 99, and 2000. Thanks for nothing, Boggs. At number 8, another Boston guy on this list, Bill Belichick. You know how the Patriots and New York Jets have a heated rivalry? Well, it's all thanks to Mr. Hoodie, Bill Belichick himself. The Jets hired him to be their new head coach in the 1999 season. But just one day later, he announced his resignation and actually joined the Patriots to roam their sidelines. And the rest is history. The Patriots have won 4 Super Bowls, and the Jets have become a perennial laughingstock. It's just too funny. Benedict Arnold Belichick, right guys? You get it? Because he's a traitor? You get it? He's a traitor. That's why they're calling him Benedict Arnold Belichick. All right, guys, let's move on to number 7, Kevin Durant. We don't care if he returns to the Thunder in 3 years and wins 5 titles with them. He inspired this list and easily deserves a name on it. Durant joined a team that knocked his Thunder out of the 2016 playoffs. Instead of trying to take down the Empire, he joined the dark side. The only question now is, how long will he actually stay? At number 6 is Terrell Owens. Now, Owens only played 2 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles, but the impact he left was enormous. He helped them reach their first Super Bowl in 24 years, and when they won the 2004 AFC Championship, he had over 1,900 yards and 20 touchdowns. Then his ego got in the way, and he was released after the 2005 season. And of course, he did what they all do. He signed with the heated longtime rivals, the Dallas Cowboys, where he played 3 seasons but never made it back to the Super Bowl. At number 5, LeBron James. If he never returned to Cleveland, he'd be number 1 on this list. But yes, he did help them win the NBA championship in 2016, so we can never forget that. But the way he ditched them to form a super team in Miami was one of the most evil actions committed by a sports star. The decision? Come on, LeBron, what were you thinking? But then again, all is forgotten because, you know what? He did win a title, but we still can never forget the actions he pulled in the summer of 2010. At number 4 is Roger Clemens. Clemens' career as a star pitcher started in Boston, where he played 13 years, reaching 5 All-Star games and winning 3 Cy Young Awards. But then he joined division rival Toronto Blue Jays for 2 years. And then after that, he went to the Yankees for 5 years, winning 2 championships. Wow, talk about a double whammy. At number 3, Neon Deion Sanders. Now, Primetime is certainly the best cornerback in NFL history, but he's far from the most loyal player in NFL history. After winning a Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers, which included shutting down Troy Aikman's Dallas Cowboys for a year, Deion said, I like those guys. I'm going to jump ship. And then he joined the Cowboys. They happen to be San Fran's biggest rival during the 80s and 90s. And of course, he won a Super Bowl with them as well, becoming a huge contributor. At number 2, Luis Figo. There's perhaps no bigger rivalry in soccer than El Clasico, which features Barcelona versus Real Madrid in La Liga. Now, Luis Figo was a cornerstone of Barcelona from 1995 to 2000, where he helped them win the 1997 UEFA Cup. Then in 2000, he joined Real Madrid, their arch rivals, for $60.1 million, making him the most hated man in Barcelona. Given the long-term hatred between these squads, we don't need to say much more. At number 1, a unanimous number 1, I should say, Art Modell. He might be a hero in Baltimore, but he is still one of the biggest all-time villains forever in the history of Cleveland. But there's always 2 sides to every story, right? Modell was a disgruntled owner of the Cleveland Browns, and he believed they weren't the proper fit for his team. Modell secretly talked to the NFL about moving the Browns to Baltimore, and he got his wish. The Ravens became an NFL powerhouse, winning 2 Super Bowls. And the Browns were lost after the 1995 season and didn't even have a team until 1999. And since then, they've been one of the biggest NFL laughingstocks. Modell promised he'd never leave the Browns and hated the Colts' move from Baltimore to Indianapolis, but he ended up backstabbing his own city, Cleveland. Which sports traitor are you still bitter about? Join us in the comments below. And if you like this video and learned a thing or two, give us some love and click the like button. And you can always follow me on Twitter at Andy Ruther. And if this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.